and welcome back to Cloveriness. My name is Michelle and I'm here today to do the chocolate book tag. The lovely Faye from the Daydreamer's Thoughts and also Bookish Brits tagged me absolutely ages ago to do this chocolate book tag, and I'm finally sitting down to do that today. I've decided to make all of these 8 questions a little bit more difficult by choosing only books that I've read already in 2014 to be my pool of books that I can choose for my answers. Obviously, if you're watching this and want to do this tag, you don't have to do that at all. I just need a little bit more focus to narrow down the possibilities. So let's get right into it. The first question is dark chocolate, a book that covers a dark topic. For this book, I have chosen Hate by Gibbons, which is a book that I very recently read. This is a book that was inspired by the murder of Sophie Lancaster, a girl who was dressed in goth clothing who was walking in a park and was attacked really senselessly by a group of people who were intimidated by her differences, and this is a book that highlights the attack as well as goes some length towards trying to celebrate the differences. And within this book it mentions a homophobic attack, and it kind of relates that back to Sophie Lancaster, and it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed in the sense that I found it really compelling to read, not that I enjoyed the actual, you know what I mean. Question 2 is white chocolate, your favorite light-hearted or humorous read. This was so difficult for me to choose. Do you know how few books could be considered light-hearted or humorous on the books that I read in 2014? Really need to work on that. For this though, I have chosen Flirty Dancing by McLachlan. This is a book that is published in July, I believe, June, July, sometime in the summer anyway, by Bloomsbury. It's aimed at a slightly younger than YA audience, and it was billed as Geek Girl meets Flirty Dancing, and it is just so much fun. I really loved it. It was very sweet and funny about a girl who enters this talent competition in which her and her partner are doing some old-fashioned swing dancing. Was it swing? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but it was brilliant. You know, dancing, romance, humor. I loved it so much. It was a really feel-good book. Question number 3 is milk chocolate. This is for a book that has a lot of hype surrounding it that I'm dying to read. Hurrah! Not a book that I have to choose from the 68 books I've read in 2014. I was just talking about it the other day. I have The Fifth Wave by Yancey to read that I'm hoping to read at some point this month. It's a book that everyone raved about, and I bought it on a whim because of all of those raving people, and I never got round to it because of the hype surrounding it. It was one of those books that I felt really needed the hype to die down before I could dive into it and hopefully appreciate it. So there you go, my hyped book. Question number 4 is chocolate with a caramel center. This is for a book that makes you feel all gooey inside when you're reading it. Aww. I kind of struggled a little bit with this one because my initial thoughts were a romance book, and that would be why I'm all gooey inside. But for this book, I've chosen Murder Most Unlikely by Robin Stevens, and I've chosen this book because it is so sweet and charming. It was one of those books that I read it and I just thought, oh. I loved the two main characters, Hazel and Daisy. I loved the setting. It was 1930s at a girls' boarding school, and it's about two girls trying to solve this murder of the science mistress, and it was just so good. I cannot wait to read more in this series. It's just, oh. Question 5 is a wafer-free Kitkat, and this is for a book that surprised you. By Joelle Charbonneau. This is a dystopian YA book that has been compared to the Hunger Games. It wasn't a book that I was aware of, and it was definitely a book that I probably wouldn't have picked up if it hadn't been chosen for the Bookish Brits April Book Club choice. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I loved the main character. I loved the whole setup of this world and what they're testing, and I'm really looking forward to reading more in this series. Question number 6 is Snickers. Name a book that you're going nuts for, and for this I'm definitely choosing A Kiss in the Dark by Cat Clarke. Cat Clarke is definitely one of my favorite authors anyway, but I absolutely adored A Kiss in the Dark. I loved both Alex and Kate. I loved that it was told in 2 parts. I loved that each of the main characters is concealing this huge secret, and it just builds up the tension so much having these secrets. I really felt for both characters. I loved their relationship, and I really wanted a happy ending for them, and it just didn't seem possible as I was reading it. So very good. Question number 7 is Hot Chocolate with Cream and Marshmallows. This is for a book that you would return to for a comfort read. I've probably mentioned this already in the past, but I return to Sarra Manning's books over and over again for my comfort reads. She's one of my favorite authors. I love her stories. I love the relationships in her books, just everything about it. So I recently read The Worst Girlfriend in the World, and it was wonderful. I cried. I did. I cried at every single one of Franny B's important relationships. Her best friend, Alice, her parents, definitely her mother, and her crush says something to her at one point, and it just made me cry. Sarra Manning has a real skill to play with and manipulate my emotions, and but I loved it. I did, and I can see myself rereading that book in the future. Now the last question, question number 8, is a box of chocolates. It asks, what series have you read that had a wide variety and something for everyone? And I'm gonna choose the Poppy Sinclair series by Sharon Jones. Those are Dead Jealous and Dead Silent, because I thought that there was so much in them. I thought they had great characters and relationships. It has these mysteries to be solved. It also has a really interesting take on spirituality and everything, as well as having this really cute friendship and romance between the main character and her best friend. So definitely a series that I do recommend to quite a few people. So those are the 8 questions in the chocolate book tag. Thank you so much, Faye, for tagging me. For this, I'm going to tag Samantha from The Vampire Girl 1994. I'd also like to tag Emily from Daydreamer for books. I'm also going to tag absolutely anybody else who is watching this who has not already been tagged. If you'd like to do this tag and you're watching this video now, I tag you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.